Listen! Y'all better put your money away one day. You're gonna need some money one day.
One of my idols growing up, Eddie Vedder, we had the luxury of meeting him in Seattle, and he gave us some great advice about not hanging out with Dennis Rodman in the 90s. Please, if you go back in time, try to avoid Dennis Rodman in the 90s unless you want a good party.
Early on in my career, I got some advice from Eddie Van Halen, and he basically just came in our dressing room before a show and said, hey, I want to tell you a few things. And he told us about proper management commissions and what we should expect from our record company and other little details about how to tour and how to stay safe. So it was pretty cool.
The first tour I ever did, I opened for B.B. King, and he told me to just close my eyes and play. If you're worried, if you're nervous, if you're scared.
We got to play with Ronnie James Dio before he passed away, and he was cool. Like, he was telling us about how a fan was running after his bus, and he stopped the bus and he got out and signed a picture. And it only takes, like, you know, a minute of your time, but it'll last that kid his entire life. And I think we kind of held that.
I think Alice Cooper was that one because we were out on that tour with him, the Constrictor tour, and it was Pete Selsman who was buying for us, and we were young and running hard, and he just sat us down. He just said, I used to drink a bottle of whiskey a day and just be careful out there. Yeah. And we walked out like, wow, that was the shot heard for us.
My dearly departed brother Dave Brocky told us on the first tour that we ever did that was like an actual real tour that you need to be nice to everyone on the way up because you will see them on the way down, and that has been entirely true.
Pat and I had an old band. We played a festival with Everclear, and it was kind of our first festival. And we were like, if you guys had to give us any advice, what would it be? And they were just like, you know, do everything on your own for as long as you can, as you know, as your band is, you know, growing. That's the advice I got, and that's what I think all of us try to do.
Well, Gene Simmons once said to me, he said, Frank, I'm Gene Simmons from Kiss. I think you should put your money away properly. And Paul said, listen! Y'all better put your money away one day. You're gonna need some money one day. And that's what happened with Paul and Gene. They both said, put your money away.
One of the funniest advices I've ever heard, if you see Cliff and Mall, there's a clip where they interview Metallica. It's when Dave Mustaine is still with them. And they ask them, like, what kind of advice do you have for, like, new bands coming out? And he says, quit.
Aw. Yeah, sometimes I kid around like that a little bit.